Chapter 3, Liberation from Material Planets. The Gyanis and Yogis are generally impersonalists, and although they attain the temporary form of liberation by merging into the impersonal effulgence, the spiritual sky, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, their knowledge is not considered pure. By penances, austerities, and meditations, they can rise up to the platform of the Supreme Absolute, but as has been explained, they again fall down to the material world because they've not taken Krishna's personal features seriously. Unless one worships the lotus feet of Krishna, he again has to descend to the material platform. So we know there's different kind of transcendentalists, and you can meet these people. This is a very prominent idea that ultimately the goal of life is to get freedom from suffering by merging into the impersonal effulgence. And although this does exist, this is called Brahmananda. Prabhupada says they've come back because their knowledge is not pure and they have not taken Krishna's personal features seriously. So we are persons, we need personal connection with God. We will not be satisfied with impersonalism, with God at a distance. And I was mentioning to a guest recently that, when we hear the word God, we have certain conceptions that come up, especially if we're raised in a Christian tradition or a Jewish tradition. God, the word God, it triggers an idea, a concept, but the Vedic perspective is quite different from our conditioning. It's not that God is like some judgmental figure. It's only a he, and we don't know much about him. So the Vedas actually, the Bhagavatam explains the absolute truth that even God, because if you say God, that implies something that's not God. We are there and God is there. But the absolute, Prabhupada prefers to describe it as the absolute truth, that from which everything emanates. So then it's not that God is something distinctly separate from us. Let's talk about God now. We can learn to see that everything in existence, everything in reality is God in the form of his energy. And when we say he, the ultimate identity is he, she, Radha and Krishna, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So together, the divine couple, Radha and Krishna, this is our object of meditation. And why those who meditate on the impersonal come back? Because they don't get to taste that spiritual love. If we do not access spiritual love, we cannot really maintain Krishna consciousness. We really have to get a deep experience to keep us going. As we were just sharing, some days are tough. We have material jobs, we have material association. So what is it that will keep us going? It's getting a taste of some connection, some love, some bhakti. So those who don't get sufficient taste, then our material taste increases. So we have to learn and try to keep getting deeper and deeper spiritual tastes. That will invigorate us, nourish us, and make us want to go deeper and deeper in our spiritual life. And Prabhupada said, interestingly, because they've not taken Krishna's personal features seriously. So once you start to learn about Krishna's personal features, then see, the idea is like in the beginning, it's really a struggle. We're trying to force our mind. We're trying to tell ourselves, yeah, I should do this, I shouldn't do that. But eventually, Krishna's personal features, they're so attractive. Radha and Krishna, they're so attractive that eventually the mind wants that. And that's when the mind becomes the friend, when the mind wants to have spiritual experiences. So this is a stage that we're trying to get to when it will no longer be a forced affair, but it will be our natural desire. How can I associate with devotees? How can I get the class? How can I hear the nectar? How can I engage in kirtan? How can I remember Krishna more? And then all of that, it like strengthens us. it fortifies us and protects us against the material attraction. Because we're going to be attracted. Either we're going to be attracted to Radha and Krishna, or we're going to be attracted to the shadow, which is this material world, in the shape of so many sparks rather than the fire. You can get attracted to a spark, but it's not going to get you warm. But if you see the blazing fire, it's more attractive and it'll actually warm you. So that's why this impersonal, it's not enough. We cannot keep God at a distance. If we want to go deep in Krishna consciousness, we have to really hear about God, hear about Krishna, hear about his pastimes, his activities, dive into the ocean of Krishna consciousness. If we can't remain on the shore. If you remain on the shore, just get our toes wet, it's not enough. Then we're gonna go back to the beach and we're gonna look for something to drink, something to do. But if you dive deep, then we'll be fully satisfied.
What does it take to dive deep?
Thank you, Vishal. It's going to depend on each one of us. Srila Sanatana Goswami says one should engage in those aspects of bhakti for which one has natural attraction. So some people, they love chanting japa. They want to chant more and more. They start chanting more than 16 rounds, 32 rounds. Some people, they want to paint pictures of Krishna. For them, that's their time where they really connect with the Lord. Someone else, they just love meeting people, sharing Krishna consciousness with others. So each person is going to have some particular uh, attraction to a particular service. And that, if we keep doing that more and more, that's our kind of avenue to dive deep, because we'll want to do it. We'll want to do it. And therefore we can do more of it. Where something you don't really, even though it's a devotional activity, if it's not your preferred nature, you won't be so fired up for it. So each one of us will have something different. Now, interestingly, they will all culminate in the holy name. So for us, kirtan is our ocean, because the holy absorption in the holy name is how Krishna consciousness is awakened, how love of God is developed in this age. So we have different attractions and affinities. We should try to dive very deep into those and at the same time chant and go into the holy name. That's one way to answer your question, Prabhu. Is that okay?
That sounds great. How about faith? I had this conversation with this morning. We were going into the ocean of devotion. Well, it was Atlantic Ocean. We were swimming, and she was looking at the fish, and that's what he was saying. He's like, yeah. How about dive deep with scuba diving equipment? But how do you do that? How do you go deeper?
Oh, you want to scuba dive? You don't want to just swim. You want to go super deep.
Yeah, if you want to go, you got to have some faith. You know, you're gonna. That's
Yeah.
depending.
You gotta have faith that there's something down there. There's beautiful coral and fish and some treasure and jewels and pearls. So you get the faith by reading, by association. But how to really get to that level? I just been thinking about this. Basically, there is a science that's given, and there are certain qualities one has to develop. So it's just like someone wants to dive deep, but they don't put their scuba gear on properly. They like, put it on the front instead of the back. They put like the hose on their ear, and then they jump in. So the qualities then to really get, like Chaitanya explains, qualities we have to develop, that we have to practice. We have to be very expert how we deal with others, how we respect others, how we develop humility, how we give up anything that comes in the way of remembering Krishna. So then it gets more subtle. It's more about your consciousness and refining your consciousness, refining our thoughts, refining our conceptions, refining our attitudes, and how we relate with others. It becomes a very important part. Trinadapi sunichena tarori vasahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, if you really want to dive deep and always chant the holy name, you have to do this. You have to humble yourself before everyone. You have to see everyone as greater than you. You have to always give them full respect, as much as really we can. And you also have to not expect any for yourself. If you can do that, then you can swim deep. That's another angle. Are you there, Prabhu?
I'm here. Does somebody else want to read? Does somebody want to jump in this conversation?
Someone,
Rose or Julia?
someone can read here, or Vishal, anyone, since you're nice and comfortable there.
I like to be
I'll, I'll,
comfortable.
I'll read this time.
Go for it.
Okay, can you highlight keep it highlighted though?
That's easier.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. The ideal attitude should be, I am your eternal servitor. Please let me somehow engage in your service. Krishna is called
You can do it.
Ajita,
Yeah.
unconquerable. For no one can conquer God, but according to Srimad Bhagavatam, one with this attitude easily conquers the Supreme. The Srimad Bhagavatam also recommends that we give up this futile process to measure the Supreme. We cannot even measure the limitations of space. Let us think of the Supreme. It is not possible to measure the length and breadth of Krishna by one's minuscule knowledge, and one who arrives at this conclusion is considered intelligent by Vedic literature. One should come to understand submissively that he is very insignificant segment of the universe, abandoning the endeavor to understand the Supreme by limited knowledge or mental speculation. We should become submissive and hear the Supreme through authoritative sources such as the Bhagavad Gita or through the lips of a realized soul.
Wow. That was pretty epic. Any thoughts on this paragraph from anyone?
Well, I guess the pressure is off on us to like understand the Supreme.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's essentially saying like you don't even have the mental capacity to try to understand like God, the concept, who I am, the Supreme. So like don't worry about it. Just have faith, like follow, like, you know, if you know, it's kind of like Socratic method. It's just literally saying like if you know that you know nothing, then you're considered intelligent by Vedic literature.
Okay.
Is that not the
What else?
interpretation?
And one more final part of the piece of the puzzle.
What?
The
Oh, um, the submissive part. Yeah, like follow the rules, the scientific methods laid out in the Bhagavad Gita, etc., and the literature, and trust the authority, or what do we call it? Just use discernment with like who you take your advice from. If they're not a realized soul, then
yeah,
don't listen.
this was one of the key words that struck
And
me.
hear of this,
Yeah.
like through the word sound vibration.
Yeah, so we can't figure out God on our own. That's part of humility, like you said. So what's the recourse? The process of hearing, Shravanam. It's so simple, but it's not so easy. We have to find a very reliable source, and for us also a very inspiring source. Certain classes, certain speakers will inspire us more than others. So find the source that inspires you, that makes you want to hear about the Supreme. And then just drink it up. Hear again and again. And by that hearing, the Bhagavatam puts so much emphasis on hearing, the Shravanam, as a main means of developing Krishna consciousness. So that's the easy part. All you have to do is hear, but we find it very hard to hear. We feel like there's so many other things I should be doing, that there's some other things I should be hearing. So hearing, you don't have to do anything, you just sit, right? But it's hard for us. Like, we don't want to sit. No, I want to do something else. But the hearing, it's like that transmission. And that's how the soul just learns and realizes God, through the hearing process.
But sometimes I feel like now is the easiest time ever to hear things because you don't have to just be sitting. Like I said, like I was telling you earlier, like I listen to the recordings of these when I'm walking around or at work, and I use like audiobooks or like podcast or like online material to like listen
Yeah.
a lot, or even chant with like Srila Prabhupada's like
Yeah,
old
that's
voice
great. That's great.
recording.
Very true.
So
Yeah, it's not that you want us to actually physically sit. I guess I was just making that the point that it's very easy to do. And as you're saying, it's even easier nowadays because we have a lot of facility. We have
it,
ways that we
yeah,
can do it throughout the day. Exactly.
it's
But
it's not the same as community.
yes, that's another point I was going to make. It can't really replace all of, like the COVID thing, when we all got locked in. It was okay to connect with each other, but we realized, wait, something's missing here. Like, there's
Yeah.
no replacement for the personal. That's just, we're human beings, we're not robots. Great. Thank you for reading and sharing. Who's someone else like to read? We can start this paragraph.
How about Rose? Rose, we missed you at Harinam on Sunday.
Yeah, I was out of town.
Hari Ball next time.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, we have
September.
so you guys been to our new temple, the Radha Govinda temple here in Boca Raton?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we're aware.
It's
On
beautiful.
September 12th, put it in your calendar, please. Next Harinam, we're gonna have another awesome devotee come from all the way from Mayapur. He's Ukrainian, but right now he's living in Mayapur, and he travels a lot. So he'll be here leading the Harinam.
September when?
12th.
Oh, September 12th. I'm definitely putting it in my calendar. Yeah. I just had a beautiful class with Lakshmi Narasimha. He teaches the Bhagavad Gita every Tuesday. I think you'd like that, Julia.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was
Thank
from
you.
7 to 8. So, yeah.
Thank you.
It's beautiful too. I'm just gonna listen. I'm not gonna read. So I
Okay.
enjoy hearing you guys.
She's taking the hearing very seriously. She just wants to hear. So, Job, it's you. We
It's
also
me.
want to welcome, let's also give a warm welcome to TCL T432W. Haribol.
Hari Bol. TCL.
TCL.
According to the Brahma Samhita, there are two
No,
ways.
no. I highlighted it here.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is hearing about God from the lips of Sri Krishna himself. In this way, Arjuna set the criterion for understanding the Supreme by submissive hearing. It is our position to hear the Bhagavad Gita from the lips of Arjuna, or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master. After hearing, it is necessary to practice this acquired knowledge in daily life. My dear Lord, you are unconquerable, the devotee prays. But by this process, by hearing, you are conquered. God is unconquerable, but he is conquered by the devotee who abandons mental speculation and listens to authoritative sources. Stop here.
Yeah, because we have to take these questions here. Wonderful questions.
They lost me but by this process of hearing, you are conquered.
Don't get lost. We're all here.
Yeah,
We're on the same.
found me a life path.
Okay, let's clarify that. We're going to do that together. We're going to use Veda base to do it. So what this is referring to is a prayer, and he's mentioning Lord Brahma. So the Bhagavatam here, we can read so many amazing pastimes, and then we get to the 10th canto, the Summum Bonum. And this is really the essence of the Bhagavatam, Krishna's pastimes. In our temple here, we're reading the birth of Lord Krishna. But all of these extraordinary things are worthy of our meditation, our contemplation. Chapter 14, which is the last chapter translated by Srila Prabhupada, is the Brahma Vimohan Lila, where Brahma himself, he gets bewildered, and he ultimately offers prayers after he sees that Krishna is the source of everything and all different forms of God. So then he offers very, very beautiful prayers, one of which is being mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada. And it is a verse that Srila Prabhupada would quote very, very often. And I'll see if we can pull it up here. Okay, there's a shortcut here. This you can also search for
Wow.
through the different books and find exactly what you're looking for.
That's so cool.
10:14:8. So let's see, what did Lord Brahma, who's the head of our Acharya, say to Krishna? Here's the Sanskrit, and here's the translation. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds, and offering respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. And one more. In terms of conquering. Number 3. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, maybe you're a worker in New York City. Maybe that's your situation. Well, guess what? Even remaining situated in your established social position, those who throw away the process of speculative knowledge, like we said, just using our little teeny brains, with their body, words, and mind. So we have to use our body, our words, and our mind, offering all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities. So that means really taking them seriously, this Srimad Bhagavatam, the descriptions of Krishna's form and activities. And you have to dedicate your life to these narrations. You don't have to go to give up all your possessions and go live as a beggar. But you have to dedicate your life to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees. If you do that, those people certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the 3 worlds. So this word ajita, it means no one can surpass, no one can conquer God. But here he's conquered by love. He's conquered by the process of hearing about him, because he's in our heart and he wants to reveal himself to us. But we need to show that we want that. And how do we show that? We have to hear about him. And we have to dedicate ourselves to that hearing process. Then, by love, the unconquerable becomes conquered. So this is like the ropes. Mother Yashoda, she binds Krishna, baby Krishna. You remember the pastime?
Mhm.
Stole the butter and he started running like a little baby. And she saw his little footprints. She thought, oh, the child is very clever. He's broken the pot and now he's running in fear. And Krishna was like looking with like false tears in his eyes. Oh no, mother's gonna bind me. And she took the rope. And although no one can capture God, she was able to tie it. So Krishna becomes conquered by love. And for us, that is how we do that is by dedicating ourselves to these narrations of Krishna's pastimes, his activities. So that's why bhakti is it's very natural also. Like we said, you don't have to give up what you're doing. We just have to add more and more Krishna, hear more and more, associate more and more. So that's what's being mentioned here. It's a little distracting over here with Vishal. I'm gonna
No, I realized, I think what tripped me up was the word conquered itself,
okay.
because in the second term it's more like being won over.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. All right. So
Thank
someone else I'll start reading again. According to the Brahma Samhita, there are two ways of acquiring knowledge. The ascending process and the descending process. By the ascending process, one is elevated by knowledge acquired by himself or herself. Prabhupada spoke this way because when he went to Scottish Churches College, this was proper English. Victorian English, you just refer to the masculine. But of course, he means him, her. Should not get any kind of hang up about that. In this way, one thinks, I don't care for any authorities or books. I will attain knowledge myself by meditation, philosophy, etc. In this way, I will understand God. The other process, the descending process, involves receiving knowledge from higher authorities. The Brahma Samhita states that if one takes to the ascending process and travels at the speed of mind and wind for millions of years, he will still end up not knowing. For him, the subject matter will remain elusive and inconceivable. But that subject matter is given in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananya Cheta. So this is a cool concept, traveling at the speed of the mind. Because the mind's pretty quick. You can go anywhere super quick. So even if you were going at that speed for millions of years, imagine how far you could get. But still, just by that mental endeavor, you cannot understand God. We have to adopt the descending process, receiving knowledge from higher authorities. So we're all in this Krishna conscious movement, and we know there's a big emphasis on distribution of books. We know we're supposed to distribute the books. Well, there's a big emphasis to distribute the books also to ourselves, to take the time to do this hearing, to adopt this descending process, and to read and study the books. It's not easy in our modern day, but it's what we call sadhana. And if we can dedicate some amount of time every day, it is therapy. We need to do it. I can see very clearly if I don't read for a couple days, things start getting really weird. My conscience starts getting really weird. I start getting more frustrated. Things are not clear. This is a very important practice to just keep us sane, because basically we have intelligence, and the intelligence is subject to different modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So if we're not nourishing our intelligence through philosophical study, that's putting our mind our intelligence in the mode of goodness. It's very, very therapeutic just to read for a little bit, especially Prabhupada's books. If we read Prabhupada's books for a little bit every day, it's like a huge just reset. And the things that we go through in life, then it'll be more tolerable. We'll have a whole background from of which to see it. It's like I'm gonna have to give a mundane sports example. It's the only thing that's coming to my mind. But there's a game called the football, NFL, and there's the line, and there's two sides, and the center, the guys in the very front, and the guys they're up against, it doesn't look like they're moving. They're just like kind of hitting each other. So from that point, they're like, what are we doing? This is useless. We're not going anywhere. But when you zoom out, you see actually gradually they're going very far. And through the course of a game, they go like, hundreds of yards. So when we're going through little things, if we don't have the higher knowledge, we don't understand it. We think this is useless. What's going on? Why? You're pushing me, I'm pushing you. Why? What is the point? What are we doing? They don't understand it. But when you zoom out and you see it in context of the game, so all these things in life, if we don't have that background, that zooming out, which is seeing it in light of Prabhupada's books, it just disturbs us. It's just like it's like a drag. It's like a drag. Sometimes we feel like things in life are a drag. But when we can zoom out more, then we can see, oh, everything can be done in a spiritual way. There's like a lot more to what meets the eye. So Krishna says to meditate on him without deviation from the path of devotional service in submission. Krishna says to meditate on him without deviation from the path of devotional service and submission. For one who worships him in this way, tasiham sulabha, I become easily available. This is the process. If one works for Krishna 24 hours a day, Krishna cannot forget him. So that also sounds a little scary. What? 24 hours a day? I'm already working 9 hours, 8 hours a day, right? What if we told you you have to work 24 hours a day? No, it's okay. I think I'll be okay. But it's not like working a job. It's not like lifting bricks. Working for Krishna, it's very natural. It means also eating, taking rest. Krishna even says being regulated in recreation. So doing some little recreation, all that is part of Krishna's service because we have to regulate our life, our mind, our bodies. So we eat, we live lives, but we keep it with the ultimate purpose, pleasing Krishna. And we try to engage our whatever activities we're doing for his satisfaction. So even working a job, it's not that is not Krishna conscious.
Can I be a Jewish for Krishna?
You're already Jewish for Krishna.
I didn't know. Why my video not working?
Oh
What
no, some must have been some problem there.
What kind of problem is that? Is it human?
You're cutting out now. So this is a joke I have with Vishal. We like to joke about our bodies. He said, "Can I be Jewish for Krishna? You can be anything for Krishna." And that's a good point that there's nothing is unfavorable when you just have to do it properly. So
I like that.
yeah. Is that what?
Arjuna, he was killing thousands of people for Krishna.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Slaughtering,
Yeah.
gutting them like
That's
fish.
true.
Well,
That's true.
you have to be
I'm just
qualified.
going to work for Krishna.
Yeah. So working for Krishna explains, and Prabhupada will explain how we do that we work, but not just for ourselves, not just to maintain ourselves. Then we generate karma, it becomes material. But we work, and then the fruits of that work, the result of that work, then we use that to serve Krishna's mission. So when we do that, it purifies the work. Then you're working for Krishna. So that's why gradually we have to donate or contribute fruits of our work directly for Krishna's mission. Then your work is no obstacle. And you can remember Krishna during your work. This is the secret. Okay. It's nice to have Vishal back with us. He's taking us on an exciting walk wherever he goes. He's keeping us at the edge of our seats here. We never know what's going to happen over there.
It's nice. It's nice to have a little, it helps the eye move around a little bit.
Thank you, Vishal, for contributions.
I was ready to go on my Japa walks. Sorry.
That's what I thought.
This is the process. If one works for Krishna 24 hours a day, Krishna cannot forget him. By becoming submissive, he can attract the attention of God. As Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisanta Saraswati used to say, don't try to see God. Is God to come and stand before us like a servant just because we want to see him? That is not the submissive way. We have to oblige him by our love and service. So this is another thing, that we shouldn't try to control God. We shouldn't try to say, "What, Krishna, I've been chanting your name. Why aren't you doing this? Why didn't you come before me?" Then we're trying to kind of be God ourselves. So we're always in that dependent position. And in that way, the mercy will come. So we're going to do just a little more and then wrap it up here. It's almost 9 o'clock on this part of the world. Would someone like to read this next paragraph here? Okay, don't all jump at once here.
Who's supposed to be reading? Who just read?
You're pretty fired up. Yeah, why don't you take it away?
The proper process for approaching Krishna was given to humanity by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Rupa Goswami, his first disciple, appreciated it. Rupa Goswami was a minister in the I never can say that. Mohammedan government, but he left the government to become a disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he first went to see the Lord, Rupa Goswami approached him with the following verse. Nama Mahavidanya Ya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurav Vishya Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances under the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is more magnanimous than any other avatar, even Krishna himself, because he's bestowing freely what no one else has ever given, pure love of Krishna.
Okay, let's do one more paragraph.
Rupa Goswami called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the most munificent, the most charitable personality, because he was offering the most precious thing of all very cheaply, love of God. We all want Krishna and are all hankering after him. Krishna is the most attractive, the most beautiful, the most opulent, the most powerful, and the most learned. This is the object of our hankering. We are hankering after the beautiful, the powerful, the learned, the wealthy. Krishna is the reservoir of all of this. So we need only turn our attention toward him, and we will get everything, whatever we want, whatever is our heart's desire, will be fulfilled by the process of Krishna consciousness.
Haribol.
Reborn.
So I think that is a great way to wrap up this discussion and meditate on these qualities of the Lord, that what we're really hankering for. And Prabhupada is saying we only need to turn our attention toward him and we will get everything. Sometimes we think we'll miss out if we become Krishna conscious, but actually we will gain everything. So that we have to train our mind, train our intelligence by studying, by hearing, as we're hearing today, by that process. Whatever our heart's desire is, whatever we think we want, actually you'll get by Krishna consciousness. So thank you again so much, everyone, for joining. Very lively session today. And if anyone would like to contribute everything, thank you also TCL T432W. It was really a pleasure to have you. And any final comments or questions?
No, thank you. It was nice.
Okay, so join us again.
Haribol.
Hello?
Haribol.
Did you want to say something or just ecstatic Haribol?
Oh, thank you. I am Quimmy.
Quimmy! Thank
Hey,
you.
Quimmy.
Thanks, Quimmy. So we're going to do this every Tuesday, and we're counting on you all to join us to help make this possible. I mean, we're not
Also,
we like
one-
having you with us, and we would love to have you join us again. Let's say that.
One last note, talking about faith, I don't know, I have to mention it. Faith is defined, one of the definitions is trust based on experience. So for us to have the trust, we have to have experience. And the experience comes from chanting and hearing. Haribol. A lot of times we develop that from chanting the Mahamantra, hearing the Shastra, and Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
And here is a painting. This is also hearing the descriptions in the form of paintings. This is hearing through our eyes about a higher reality, a beautiful world, a transcendental world, beautiful fragrance and paths and moonlit nights and exciting adventures of reality, and not this false reality of the material world, which is always infused with some kind of disaster, some unexpected calamity, and we're all gonna have to leave here, so can't really enjoy too much anyway. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hasta luego. Haribol.
Bye everyone, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare.